Psalm 14, verse 1. I used to think quite differently about this verse than I do now. What does it say? The fool has said in his heart what? He's not a fool because he doesn't believe in God. He is a fool because he thinks he is so smart that there is not a possibility of a God. A person who has said there is no God and acts like they're sure of it is not foolish because they don't believe in God. They are absolutely foolish because they must know all possibilities. They must believe that they know all possibilities. And therefore they can eliminate this thought there might be a God. How foolish must you be to think that you know all possibilities? That's why they're a fool, not simply, I used to say, fools said in their heart, there is no God. When do the atheists, what's their favorite day? April 1st. And there's some reality in that. But it's not their lack of belief in God that make them fools. It's the arrogance to think, I have eliminated all possibilities. How arrogant and foolish must you be? There must, at least as an agnostic, you say, I don't know. But an atheist says, I know there's not a God. You have examined all the facts. You are able to do that? Wow. Wow, you must have studied for years. Oh, not years. Months. Oh, not months. How did you come to this conclusion? Well, one time I prayed and God didn't answer. That's the reason to be an atheist. What was I thinking? So it's always good to have that thought in mind. Anything else?
There's a problem I look at on it, and these two men, they go out and they share their faith, and they do it with their Ten Commandments. Like they would say, "Are you a good person?" And the person would say, "I think I am." I said, "Okay." God says the Ten Commandments. Have you ever lied? No. You've never lied? Yes. Okay. Have you ever committed adultery? No. Have you ever looked at a woman with lust in your heart? The Bible says such and such. Yes. Okay, so then you are lying, adulterous, thief. Yeah, that's how they do it.
No, I used to carry around a copy of the Ten Commandments with me because the Bible says through the law is the knowledge of sin.
And that's how they will get them. And sometimes they will, I don't believe. Okay, you don't believe, but let's assume this such and such, you stand before God. God is holy. And that's how they get them. So even though they don't pray, they get them to thinking, they'll let them, okay, well, the Bible says such and such and such. And then you see this, let them turn away, but still have them thinking.
Give them a shot.
Yes.
There's many ways to come at it.
Is that a good approach?
Well, I think in the culture that we live in, that is to say, if I'm dealing with religious people, it works very well.
And pastors, you said that one guy said, you know what? I'm glad. You know what? You're right. I've got to think really about my
my eternal destiny.
Yes. Yes.
So in a Catholic community, but as there's a rise of secularism, that particular way becomes less effective only because there's no. And then also here in New York, everyone in New York is a lawyer. So every person you meet in New York is a lawyer. And they'll say, well, I've never killed anybody on purpose. Or, I've never... everyone's a lawyer. So you have to be aware of that. And again, though, if you just give them the truth and you do it in love, what can they say? What can they say to you other than thank you? Well, let's close with a video because, we always should do that, right? I don't know if I have the right audio on for this.
Do you think the influence of other cultures, likewise,